since the hospital opened more than 10 years ago.
Well, it was a year ago today when we heard the first sirens go out on what would turn into multiple shootings in Blair County. 911 got a call that someone had a gun at the Subway restaurant at the 58th Street there in Altoona. Well, next thing we knew, 2 workers at that Subway were shot and the shooter was on the loose. Minutes later, an update. A third person was getting his mail right nearby and was shot and killed. After a foot chase through Blair County, police finally tackled the suspect, Nicholas Horner. Now there's that has to happen, a lot that has to happen until Horner goes to trial, but some of the facts about that date, April 6, 2009, are set in stone.
Scott Garlick and Raymond Williams were murdered that day. Garlick was only 17, getting ready to head to college, while Williams was recently retired after decades as an insurance agent.
Well, over the past year, we've mostly heard about these 2 men as crime victims, but WTAJ News reporter Tessa Menace sat down with some of the family and friends of Scott Garlick who remember him as someone much more special.
It's just a break until you get to see him again kind of deal. That's the way you got to look at it instead of not. It's over. It's a break until you see him again.
There is no question that Scott Garlick and Josh Connor were best friends, but a friendship didn't look too promising on the day they met.
He always reminded me of it. It was 4th grade in the playground. We were tossing around a football and I missed and hit him, and I was like, oh no, I have no idea who this kid is. He's gonna like beat me down or something. I was like really scared, and he walked up and he's like tosses the football back, and I was like, so do you want to play? And it just kind of went from there.
That was the kind of kid Scott was, the glue that held these boys together, the much needed burst of laughter when things got too serious, and the practical joker who always got away with it.
I honestly could never get mad at him. If I was mad at him, it was for 5 seconds and I got over it.
I'm extremely ticklish, so he just thought it was hysterical, and I knew it was coming every single time, but I would go along with it anyways. But here, go ahead.
He'd just be like, pop it, lock it, drop it, break the pickle, tickle, tickle.
But it would go a lot longer than that.
Yeah, like he wouldn't
There was no
stop.
end to it.
Scott! Scott! Can you stop it? Come on.
6 best friends and a brave younger brother. They're the people who knew Scott the best, and just a few who miss him the most. You can see a piece of them is missing when they talk about the boy who could cook up a good dish.
I remember.
He made chicken Alfredo up for us at the house. So.
Was he a good cook?
Oh, great.
And make magic on his guitar.
Whenever he played, it just came out of his fingers onto the guitar, and it was like, wow. I wish I could do that.
While these young friends do their best to forget what happened, they still know April 6th is coming around. A year since all of their lives changed forever.
We're driving to the hospital because then we knew he was at the hospital, and I get a call from my one friend, and he's just like, Elena, I have to tell you this, but we lost Scott, and I just...
Me and Vass are walking down the hallway to the emergency room or wherever it was, and this lady came out. You know, I never saw her before, but she's like, you here for the Garlick kid? I was like, yeah, you know, and we're still walking. We passed her, and she's just like, he's gone.
But those tearful memories soon fade, because these friends know the great kid they're talking about wouldn't want it this way.
Thinking about him actually makes me happy.
He was more like a brother than a friend.
But underneath this laughter, these friends are mad. Mad that they didn't get to enjoy high school graduation with Scott. Angry that they still play around at that high school field. Except they're one person short. But don't confuse their anger with bitterness.
He'd want you to move on and remember all the good times.
A year later, they don't remember the police sirens or the tearful moments in the hospital. They remember Scott.
We wanted him to be remembered how he was, the person he was, not what happened to him.
He will be remembered for a long time in my life. For the rest of my life.
Life goes on.
They're really brave kids.
They are. That was a good grieving process for them too,
Yeah,
like
it
they
was.
said.
It was.
So.
You know, at first they were nervous about it, and then just talking about him, they were very comfortable with it.
That's
It's
great.
evident that everybody that Scott touched really walked away with knowing him very well.
Yeah.
He was very lucky.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tessa.
Thank you,
welcome.
Tessa.
We'll be right back.